Namaskar, hello and a very warm welcome to CIET NCERT's live phone and interactive program. My name is Tanvi Khurana and we have entered into day 4 of our online training. It's a 5-day online training on Diksha, that is digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. And this series has been organized by CIET NCERT. CIET is a Central Institute of Educational Technology. And our day 4's topic is Digital Jaadui Pitara, FLN, that is Foundational Learning and Numeracy, and Education for All Vertical. So we are going to discuss this topic in detail, but let me tell you that yesterday we discussed all about virtual labs, and we saw your response, and so many of you are a part of this program. If you have not registered yet, then please do it. You can be a participant in this program, you can register yourself. I'll explain you the entire method towards the end of this program, but for now, please watch this program and raise your queries if there are any. The number is 8800440559. You can simply call us and ask your questions. If you want to email us your queries, the email ID would be training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. At this moment, you're watching us on eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12 and also on our YouTube channel, which is NCERT Official. In the live chat box, you can write down your questions, your queries and share them with us. So there are multiple methods through which you can get in touch with us and you can raise your queries. So before we begin our program, let me please introduce to you our guests for today. We have with us Professor Indu Kumar. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Tanvi. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Ma'am is the head of DICT and TD from CIET NCERT. And we also have with us Dr. Prachi Sharma. Welcome, ma'am.
Namaskar.
Ma'am is a senior academic consultant from CIET NCERT itself, and we are honored to have these two experts with us because they have a lot of information regarding the digital Jaadui Pitara, FLN and education for all vertical. So we'll be definitely waiting for your questions, and before we begin, I have an announcement to make, and that is regarding the India's G20 presidency. We are extremely proud of the fact that India assumed G20 presidency and would convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country this year, that is 2023. A nation deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism, India's G20 presidency would be a watershed moment in her history as it seeks to play an important role by finding global pragmatic solutions for the well-being of all, and in doing so manifest its true spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or should I say the world is one family. So let's begin this discussion on our day 4's topic, and I would like to begin with Indu, ma'am. Ma'am, our topic itself says FLN. So would you like to tell us that why is FLN, that is a foundational literacy and numeracy, it is so important for all our viewers? Ma'am.
Yes, Tanvi, this is the basic question which is very, very important to understand, that what is the importance of foundational literacy and numeracy. Foundational literacy and numeracy talks about development of foundation of children at the very beginning, from the very beginning, that is from preschool education. Because all our future schooling and future learning depends upon how proficient our children are in foundational literacy and numeracy. Because language is the medium of learning. If we are lagging behind in language learning, the education for our other subject will also suffer, and same is with numeracy. If our foundation in numbers, numeracy, mathematics is not sound, we will not be able to learn the mathematics that will progresses in the classes to come. So that is why it is important to attain foundational literacy and numeracy. And a National Policy of Education 2020 also emphasizes the importance of national literacy and numeracy, and it is also evident in the new curricular and pedagogical structure that is introduced by this new education policy. And instead of having 10+2 system, now this policy 2 attain foundational literacy and numeracy recommends entirely different structure for schooling, and for this there are stages like foundational stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, and secondary stage. So now schooling is divided into these 4 segments, and foundational literacy and numeracy is the area for the foundational stage. So let us see how it has been summed up in NEP 2020. You can see from this slide that how NEP 2020 lays an emphasis on foundational literacy and numeracy, and what is the cruciality of foundational literacy and numeracy, that is FLN. So National Education Policy 2020 states the ability to read and write and perform basic operations with numbers is a necessary foundational and an indispensable prerequisite for all future schooling and lifelong learning. And as we know, today's topic is also about lifelong learning. If we are proficient in foundational literacy and numeracy, this is the basic prerequisite which makes us go in our future schooling and also helps us become lifelong learner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was all about FLN. Ma'am, in our topic itself, we have a digital Jaadui Pitara. So, and we've all heard of this term Jaadui Pitara. Would you like to tell us what exactly Jaadui Pitara is, and what is its vision, and for which standard of students it is for?
Yeah. So, digital Jaadui Pitara, we will come later to digital Jaadui Pitara. First, I will explain the digital Jaadui Pitara. It has been launched by the Minister of Education, Honorable Minister of Education, on in the month of February. What was the date? It was 20th February. So, it was launched. So, it's a collection of very, very interesting material for foundational learner. This Jaadui Pitara also belongs to the learners of foundational stage, and learners can get a lot of interesting material in this Jaadui Pitara. So, these are toys, games, puzzles. Apart from the puzzles, they also can get puppets in the Jaadui Pitara. Then there are picture cards, story cards, flash cards, and a lot of interesting material which is there. And as far as the digital version of having this Jaadui Pitara is concerned, it is also housed on Diksha. Though all the material which have a physical importance are not there in this digital Jaadui Pitara, but whatever can be made available digitally and can be used by learner as well as teachers as pedagogical resources are available on digital Jaadui Pitara. And here I would like to mention that this is the power of digital medium, that physical Jaadui Pitara will take time to reach to every nook and corner of the country, but we have a lot of material digitally available which can be very easily accessed through Diksha. We have a separate space for this digital Jaadui Pitara, and resources of Jaadui Pitara, many resources, a lot of interesting resources can be obtained digitally through this.
Okay, you said there are so many resources of Jaadui Pitara. Prachi ma'am, would you like to explain us the various resources that are available on digital Pitara on Diksha?
Sure. Now I will take you on the portal Diksha, where all resources are housed.
Okay.
So when
we
type,
start from your URL.
Yes. When we type Diksha URL, that is diksha.gov.in in our browser, we will get the home page. This is the home page of Diksha. So here you can see the first banner is Jaadui Pitara banner. When we click on Explore button, This is the landing page of Jaadui Pitara. Here you can see the button of open. When we click on open button, we will get the resources, digital resources of Jaadui Pitara here. So as Indu ma'am already explained, we have a variety of resources under Jaadui Pitara like toys, puzzles, puppets, story, poem and many more. So we can see all resources are categorized on this page. Here you can see the first category is toys, puzzle, puppet, then stories, poem, playbook and activity sheet. Here you can see the handbook also. So this handbook is help teachers to do the activity, to create these activity in their classroom, and it also helps teachers to use these stories, these resources in classroom. So this handbook is help teachers to use these resources in the classroom. So there is some guide also where teacher develop and use teaching and learning material. And here you can see some flashcard and story cards. So these are some categories are placed on Diksha portal. Now how we can access these resources? So I will click in any category. I am clicking on flashcard and sequence card. When we click it, you can see some content playlist are appearing on the screen. Here you can see the variety of resources like theme cards on the basis of plants, vegetable theme cards, flower theme cards, water theme cards, number cards, alphabet cards and sequence story cards. So now I am clicking on story cards. Here you can see on the right hand side some TOC is TOC means table of content is appearing. As we know, Diksha structure is lying on the table of content, but all table of content is different for all verticals. It is depend on the need of the vertical. In previous session we already explained in the textbook, we have a different TOC, different table of content where e-textbooks explanation resources are placed. But in this vertical, Jaadui Pitara vertical, we have a different table of content. So it's changed on the need of the vertical. So here you can see some stories are placed like cat and dog, Reha ka chhata, cat and monkey. So I am clicking on one story to show how these stories are prepared and how children can use this story and how teacher can use this story and how what learning can derive from this story. Here you can see a pictorial depiction of the story. And you can see some instructions based on this story are given, like कहानी कार्डों का उपयोग कैसे करें. So some instructions are also given. So you can see the complete story. And beautiful thing is that ki instructions are given in both languages, English or Hindi. Here you can see the instruction in English medium. So this is how stories are developed. Here you can see the complete story is given in Hindi, and you can see the complete story in English. So this is how resources.
This can be used both in English and Hindi. The same story can be used in Hindi and English to develop literacy among children. And also children can relate the story which is given to text with the pictures. Teacher can tell the story to the children and also can use the images which are given along with the story, and that is how children listen and see the images which are related to the story.
Yes, definitely, ma'am. So this is the one example of. So similarly, we have a different resources, like we have a alphabet cards. So you can see in TOC we have a English alphabet cards and we have a Hindi alphabets cards. So first resource is English alphabet card. You can see on the left hand side capital and small letter is given, and some example related to based on this alphabet also given, which user can found in their surroundings. So user can relate these example with these letters. So
and Dr. Prachi, can you also tell them how to download these alphabet cards? Until you have the physical Jaadui Pitara with you, you can have access to digital and you can create your own customized digital Pitara also. So all these resources are downloadable. You can download these picture cards, alphabet cards, and get them printed in color so that you use them with children. If you want to organize an activity around these stories, these cards, these resources, you can download them and use them. And if there is some digital infrastructure available in the school you are teaching in, you can also project these alphabet cards and build activities around them. So Dr. Prachi, please show how to download these
yes,
resources.
Yeah. The beautiful thing on Diksha, we can download all resources and we can use all resources offline, and we can directly take a print from Diksha portal also. So this is, you can see the 3 bars at the left hand side. When we click on these 3 bars, we will get these options, like we can share these resources with the stakeholder. When we click on share button, you can directly copy the link and share the link. Second option is download. We can download all resources by clicking on download button, and we can directly print these resources from directly Diksha portal. So this is how we can download all resources and we can use these resources. We can customize these resources as per our requirement.
Thank you, Dr. Paji. You have beautifully explained how to share, download and print digital resources from digital Jaadui Pitara.
Yes, and there are so many resources for all the children.
Yeah,
yes,
that's true.
So students are definitely going to learn a lot from this digital Jaadui Pitara. And ma'am, just like you showed that there are resources available for digital Pitara, do we have resources for FLN as well? And are they digital? And how are they different from the digital Jaadui Pitara? Or what are the similarities? What are the differences? Anything you would like to highlight?
Yes, because both are for foundational learners,
yes.
But yeah, there are there is a basic difference in the nature of digital resources which are for foundational stage, and the Jaadui Pitara resources we have already mentioned how they are categorized.
Yes.
So as far as resources for a foundational stage are concerned, so they are available, yes, they are available digitally as you have asked. We have a separate vertical on Diksha which is dedicated to foundational literacy and numeracy, and the resources which are available there are in the form of infographic, assessment sheets, worksheets, bite-sized videos and infographics. Apart from this, we also have gamified learning and assessment content on the FLN vertical of Diksha. So we can see, let us see, navigate and see how resources are placed on FLN vertical and how we can access resources from there. So can we go on to the FLN page of Diksha, Foundational Literacy and Numeracy page, and here I would also like to mention because foundational literacy and numeracy is very crucial, very critical for the development of learners. So this there is a mission to attain foundational literacy and numeracy, and that is Nippon Bharat mission. And on the page of Diksha, we can see the banner of Nippon Bharat mission, because foundational literacy and numeracy being implemented in a mission mode through Nippon Bharat mission. So here you can see the page of Nippon Bharat, and if we click on to explore like we did in the previous section also, So we will get this page, Nippon Bharat Mission page, and you can see in the rectangles how resources are organized. Nippon Bharat documents are there, Nippon mission videos and regional workshop resources can be seen on the screen. So Nippon, when you click explore under Nippon Bharat document, you will get all the documents which are related to Nippon Bharat mission. So here you can see from the drop down that Nippon Bharat flip book is given, Vidya Pravesh document is there, and can you make it a bit larger? What is the list, or you can read it out, Dr. Prachi? Yeah, we can make larger also so that our viewers can also see. Home-based learning guidelines are there, national webinar on reading for learning and pleasure are there. So you can see in the drop down all the related document for Nippon Bharat mission are given. You can click on to any and get all these documents. So we can see here Nippon Bharat flip book. So yeah, if we scroll it down, you will get this flip book. Yeah. So can we go on to the previous page to see what are the other features of this page? So here mission video is also there, Nippon mission videos. Then Ministry of Education also conducted regional workshops involving all these states and UTs, and in these regional workshops, each state and UT presented their status of the implementation of Nippon Bharat mission. So here you will get all those resources and presentations. If we click on to explore over here in regional workshop resources, so this drop down will come and you will get presentations given by all the states and UTs. So yeah, so you can see in the drop down what the different states and UTs whose resources are there and accessible through this page. So let us again go on to the previous page. To just break the monotony, have a better stimulus, let us now watch the Nippon Bharat anthem. There is a beautiful Nippon Bharat anthem which is created and which is there on the Nippon Bharat page or FLN page of Diksha. So you can also translate this song. This is a beautiful song. You can translate it in your regional languages, record it and have it for your own purposes. And viewers can also have, different states and UTs also can have such FLN resources, because Diksha, as I have mentioned in my first presentation, it is a federated structure. Anything is not controlled from the center. All the state and UTs have their own spaces on Diksha. So they can also create their own space for this FLN vertical, also foundational literacy and numeracy, and they can customize the resources which are available, which have been made available by NCERT, translated in the regional languages, or they can customize and translate also, so that these resources are not developed from scratch, but already available resources can be customized and translated in regional languages. So you can also contact us for having such a foundational literacy and numeracy vertical on your own tenant, so that it can be implemented in a mission mode and you have all the resources housed at one place. So we were about to watch the foundational literacy and numeracy, the Nippon Bharat anthem. So let us watch that.
ना अटकेंगे ना भटकेंगे देश बढ़ेगा, अब हर बच्चा निपुण बनेगा, अपना भारत देश बढ़ेगा, पढ़ा लिखा भारत, निपुण नया भारत, पढ़ा लिखा भारत, नूतन निपुण भारत, शिक्षित परिपूर्ण भारत, नूतन निपुण भारत, इतिहास बनाए इंडिया, निपुण सतमय इंडिया। निपुण भारत का सपना, सब बच्चे समझे भाषा और गणना।
So this was the Nippon Bharat anthem. So let us again go to the Nippon Bharat page to see what are the different types of resources and how they are placed on Diksha. So can we go on to the page, Dr. Prachi? So if we scroll down after that, we will learn to know about foundational literacy and numeracy, a brief description of the mission, and then if we scroll further, so we will get developmental goal wise e-content organized. So there are 3 developmental goals for foundational literacy and numeracy, and you can see these goals. If we scroll down, you will get what are these goals. So developmental goal 1 is children maintain good health and well-being. A little description of it has been given just below the goal. And then second goal is children become effective communicators. So good health is an essential component for foundational learners, and that is why it has been kept as goal 1. Then developmental goal 2 is children become effective communicators. So this is about attaining proficiency in language, written or text language, written language or spoken language. Yeah. Then developmental goal 3 is about children become involved learners and connect with their immediate surroundings. So this developmental goal contains contains mathematics and EVS content. So that is how 3 developmental goals are there for foundational stage, and let us see how they are organized, and after that let us see the complete page first, then we will access the resources. Courses for continuous professional development of teachers can also be accessed from this vertical. If we click on to explore, we will land onto the page where all the courses related to foundational stage have been placed for the professional development of teachers. So here you can see various courses. So let us now see the different types of resources which I have already mentioned. Infographics, assessment sheets, activity sheets, bite-sized videos, then gamified learning and assessment. So here you can see for foundational stage there are 6 classes. Resources are organized developmental goal wise for 6 classes, that is preschool 1, preschool 2, preschool 3, class 1, class 2 and class 3. So there are a learning outcome against each developmental goals. For health and well-being, there are separate codified learning outcomes. For developmental goal 2, there are again codified learning outcomes, and similarly for developmental goal 3 also there are codified learning outcomes. If we click on to explore under any of these class, we will get a drop down where you will see 3 developmental goals. Can we click on to any class? So Dr. Prachi has clicked on to class 3, explore of class 3, and here you can see the developmental goal have been seen in the drop down, developmental goal 1, 2 and 3. So if we click on to any of these developmental goals, we will get this page where at the right hand side you will get all the codified learning outcomes related to that particular developmental goal. So, Dr. Prachi has clicked on developmental goal 3. So, here all the learning outcomes of developmental goal 3 are listed, and in the left hand side there is a player where these resources will play, and by default you will get the first resource as key competencies for this particular developmental goal. So, here on screen you can see key competencies for developmental goal 3. So, can we now click on to any learning outcomes and see how resources are placed against that learning outcome. So, yeah. So, which is this learning outcome? Can you read out the code?
Yes, this is EVS 6.1. Identifies simple observable features of leaves, trunks and bark of plants, animals and birds in immediate surrounding.
So, this is the learning outcomes that outcome that Dr. Prachi has already read aloud, and we can see how resources are organized under this learning outcome. So, you can see here worksheets, assessment sheets. You can place your cursor against each variety of resource. Yes, assessment sheet, videos, then infographics, gamified learning and assessment content. So, if we click on to a video for this particular learning outcome, so we can see a video which is placed under the learning outcome, which we
Tina,
already read
Are you
aloud.
coming with me to the park?
Hooray, Mom! I'm so excited! Let's go! Mom, these trees are so different from each other.
Yes, dear. Some of them differ from each other, but some have similar characters. Look at these plants, Tina. Their leaves are different in color, but similar in shape. They are elongated. You can call them linear shaped. And this one, it is triangular. Do you remember this shape?
Yes, Mom, I remember. I had studied this shape in my maths class. Oh, Mom, mint must be growing around. Its fragrance always attracts me.
Then let's find out where they are growing.
Ah, I found them. Hey, look here, Mom. This is so amazing.
Oh yes.
I used to think that only flowers are colorful, but leaves of this plant are so beautiful. This purple color is so attractive and they are so soft to touch. Chuck!
We can play the entire video.
Just like our velvet blanket.
Yes, Tina. See, there are other plants also with colorful leaves.
They are amazing. Oh, the bark of this tree is so smooth, unlike other trees.
It varies. Some trees have smooth bark, some have grooved or bumpy. Now, let's go back home.
Mom, we'll visit the park tomorrow as well.
Sure, dear.
Oh, Mom, look at them. A cat is running after a rat and a dog is running after the cat. Good morning, Mom. Oh, wow. Which bird is this?
This is woodpecker. Let's go to the balcony. You will observe a variety of birds chirping, interacting with each other, making this morning even more pleasant.
Yes, I want to see more birds.
So, can you go back to the learning outcome again? What was the learning outcome? The learning outcome was, can you make it a bit larger? Identifies simple observable features in leaves, trunks and bark of plants, animals and birds in their immediate surroundings. If you reflect back on the video, so the video discussed it all. It talked about different variety of leaves there on the basis of their color, shapes and other features, and also different types of barks of trees, different variety of plants, and also a few animals and birds. Here we need to understand that any resource is not complete in itself. When we use a resource as a pedagogical resource into the classroom, it has to be made part of a pedagogical plan, so that you download resource, integrate it into your learning plan, show it to children, and generate discussion around it. So the experiences of one child is given in this video, but we have children in our country placed in different geographical locations, belonging to different linguistic groups, and also having different surroundings they live in. So on the basis of their immediate surroundings, we can build a discussion for discussing about different varieties of plants, different varieties of barks of trees that they watch in their immediate surroundings. We can also see the infographic activity sheets and assessment sheets, which are again based on the same learning outcome. If you want to explore them, you can explore them the way we have already explained you. Can we now see example of a resource which is a gamified resource, so that we can see how in an interesting manner, in a play way manner, children can learn about the learning outcomes which are linked to different developmental goals. So for this particular learning outcome also, there are gamified learning and assessment content. So we can go on to here, you can see on the screen. Can you make it full screen? Yes. So you can see here several questions or several features of any different birds and animals, and you have to identify based on the features, drag it from the bottom and place it against the question which is there. So the very first question you have to answer is, is a bird which swims, and at the bottom you can see different answers are given. You have to identify the correct answer and drag. So Dr. Prachi, which is the bird which can swim? So Dr. Prachi has placed duck and she has done it correctly. Then a bird which has black feathers. Yes, crow is the correct answer. A large bird which has a beautiful tail feather. Yes, that is peacock. So you can now select a wrong one. And let us see what happens. A small sized animal which has long beautiful tail. So that is not correct. Now you can place randomly the answers. So here you can see that we can, if we have marked some answers wrong, we can also get solutions by clicking on show solution. So here you can see the right answers, and if we want to retry the game, we can retry and play it again. So that is how element of gamification has been added while developing the resources for children. So can we see one more resource? Or maybe for a different class, or you want to, it is up to you which resource you want to show, Dr. Prachi.
Yes, we can choose another class and another subject. So for this I am clicking on class 1, and the different learning, different developmental goal, and that is developmental goal 3. and I am choosing a learning outcome, that is IL 4.5, compares and classified object or pictures based on multiple factors and demonstrate understanding of position. So here you can see some assessment and videos and infographic which are mapped this
Is
learning
there any
outcome.
interactive content also?
Yes, yes ma'am. We have an interactive content with this which mapped this learning outcome.
So this is about classification, and here you can see the actual interactive game.
Observe the fruits. Can we put them in 4 baskets on the basis of
So
their
this is
colour?
also based
Let us
on
try
drag and
put
drop.
them in
Drag and drop activity, and children need to classify these fruits on the basis of color. So that is how gamification is added for foundational literacy and numeracy. So a very important aspect as we need to cover, and that is education for all. So let us quickly discuss about that also.
Yes.
So yes, can we go on to the presentation to see what do we mean about this education for all. So previous slide please. Yeah, so can you make it full screen? So one important aspect which Diksha covers and which has been highlighted in NEP 2020 also is the adult education and lifelong learning, which has been covered under education for all. So this dimension is also very crucial, because India has the largest population of illiterate adults in the world, and that is because India otherwise also have a very large population. After China, we are the largest country. So here you can see 257 million adults illiterate are there in our country, which are approximately 37% of the global total. The NEP 2020 envisions that the opportunity to attain foundational literacy, obtain an education and pursue a livelihood must be viewed as basic right to every citizen, and that is why these adult illiterate also need to be made proficient in foundational literacy and obtain an education and pursue a livelihood. So, and it must be treated as basic right of every citizen. Then literacy and basic education opens up whole new world of personal, civic, economic and lifelong learning opportunities for individuals and enable them to progress personally and professionally, and they have for this they have every right to. And this adult literacy has been envisaged into a program again, which is New India Literacy Program. So it is being implemented under New India Literacy program, and on Diksha also we have a separate vertical there where resources for adult and lifelong learners have been organized. Can we go on to the platform, Dr. Prachi? And can you show them how to navigate resources for adult learners?
Sure ma'am. So we can see on Diksha homepage, you can see the banner of education for all vertical. Similarly, we have to click on explore button to landing the vertical page. While I'm so this is the vertical page for education for all vertical. Here you can see the about information. When you click on about button, you will get the about information in Hindi or English, in both languages. We have a so we have a some document related to this vertical education.
Can we quickly explore so that we can just see what all is there?
Yes.
Yes.
So
we have scroll down.
Yes. Yes.
So here is a player you can see where you can watch all the featured content for adult learners, and just below it you are seeing a lot of featured content. So these are the 5 crucial areas for foundational for the adult learners, foundational literacy and numeracy, critical life skills, vocational skill development, basic education and continuing education. And as we had courses for foundational teachers for foundational stage, we have courses also for education for all. So like that, this page is organized on Diksha. If you click on below explore for on any of these areas of importance, you will get resources like we navigated and explored on foundational literacy and numeracy vertical. So that is all.
Thank you
Over
so
to,
much, ma'am.
yes.
So I'm sure the viewers, they have a lot to look forward to, and there was a lot of discussion we had regarding the FLN, regarding the digital Jaadui Pitara, and also you mentioned there are so many courses available for education for all. So I'm sure the viewers, they are going to explore each and everything you showed on the Diksha portal, and they are going to be very helpful for their teaching learning process. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with us. Thank you so much, Dr. Prachi, for giving us your time and for sharing all this knowledge, all this information with all our viewers. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our viewers as well. But before we leave, I have to tell you that thanks to our two experts, more than 16,000 people at the moment are watching us on our YouTube channel. And I'm sure you're enjoying this entire conversation. Well, if you have not registered yourself yet, let me please explain the process how you can do that. Please type CIET on any of your browser and the home page you'll get would be this. So once you get the home page of CIET, this would be the home page, and once you see the home page, there are certain options. If you see the event option, just click on the event option. Well, this is the home page. Can we please have the home page? Okay, if you see the events option, the third last option is workshop/training. Please click on it. Once you scroll further, you will see the current activity. The very first activity is Diksha, Digital Infrastructure for Knowledge Sharing. If you click on it, another page will open. This is each and every detail regarding this online training. The objective is given. The entire schedule has been mentioned, and this is the QR code. Please scan it and be a participant, or you can click on this form and fill up the details and register yourself. And this is where you will get the link tomorrow for the quiz. That is the last day of our online training, 31st of March by 6 o'clock. And you will get enough time to do this quiz, and once you score 70% and above marks, you will be eligible for this certificate. If any feedback you have, this is the form. Please fill it up and share it with us. So do scroll it at your own end, and we'll come back tomorrow with our day 5, and the topic for day 5 would be, you can see here the online courses on Diksha. So come back here come tomorrow at 4 o'clock on the same platform, which is NCERT Official, and we'll meet you there itself. So for now, we're wrapping up this program, but stay here and keep on watching eVidya channels. Our next program is Sayog, Guidance for Mental Well-being of the Children. Thank you once again. Take care. Namaskar.